So hope my screen is visible. IntelliJ idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we will continue some rules regulation with respect to the lambda expression.
Yeah.
So last class we discussed what is the lambda expression and how we can write.
You're right.
And say there are lots of couple of uh, s- single abstract method interface is Java itself provided, right?
Mm-hmm.
Single abstract methods, that is the functional interface. Okay, a interface that have a only single abstract method known as a functional interface, right?
Mm-hmm.
So lambda expression is only implemented for the functional interface. The functional
Mm-hmm.
interface which have a only single abstract method, right?
You're right.
The interface which have only single abstract method,
Mm-hmm. Single.
right?
Okay.
So last class we can declare my own interface and like interface, my
Mm-hmm.
interface, and here I can declare any method like void test, right?
All right.
So this is the single abstract method. How we know single abstract method? Two way. By default, let's assume single abstract method, and one way as a mark annotation like a functional interface, right?
Okay.
Functional
Functional.
interface. So this compiler enforce in this interface, you can write just only one lambda. Here you cannot write another like a
Method.
single abstract method, right? Abstract
Mhm.
method. So compiler enforce you this is not a functional interface. So functional interface, the interface which have only single abstract method,
Okay.
right?
So that's the rules for the functional interface, that it
Yeah.
have to have like
Why?
one single
Yeah.
abstract method.
Lambda expression only work for the functional interface.
Oh, it's.
This is the why whenever in a whole Java application, whenever we are using lambda expression, that means somehow we are only implementing the single abstract method that is defined in the functional interface,
It's.
right? So last class we say there are multiple approach to define this method test. One way using the class, another way using anonymous class, and last way using the lambda expression. So lambda expression, how can define this test method?
Just like, okay.
Yeah. So just like first again recap ki if someone say ki I want to know the test method, right? If we have some object, let's somehow this is my interface and somehow this is my object, okay?
Right.
Object, and in this from object I want to call the test method, right? Test method. The question is ki what is the output of test? Till now no one defined the what is the output of the test, right? So compiler says somehow you have to create the some object which implement this method, right? So surely here we cannot write the new interface name itself, right? Because
Right.
interface you cannot the create object. So this is
That's
not a feasible, right?
right. Right.
So last class you can write another class that can implement this interface. Okay, my interface implementation class okay,
Right.
and this implements my interface, okay, and it is the override the implements test method, right?
Achha.
And this is a S out
My
test
Mhm.
method is called from implementation class, right? So this is the one way. Now here you can pass this implementation class name. Now it works, and compiler able to call this single abstract
Understood.
method test. This is the one way. And second way say ki we can, instead of don't write a new class, you can just implement without writing the class name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we are getting the output, right?
Yeah, test method is called from. Okay.
Go. Second way, I don't want to. I don't. I don't want to implement write new class. Somehow I don't want to use this class name. So what happened? You say just copy this line at the place where anonymous class. This is the anonymous class. Just copy and paste here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the anonymous class, right?
Achha.
Means ki anonymous class is a class where you, while the creating object, you can just pass the complete body. Yeah. So this is the call from anonymous class. Anonymous class, right? Again you run, it will call the test method. So this is second way. And last way we discuss, we can implement in the Lambda expression, right?
Right.
Call from anonymous class, right?
Right.
So
Ajay, right?
Yes.
We don't need to write a new my interface because we can only put the first bracket, right?
1 minute.
Line 11. Line number 11.
1 minute.
Okay.
Line number
11.
even here.
Yeah, on the you see it says new my interface.
Yes.
Gray color.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
Gray color means compiler say ki you can implement Lambda expression because alternative way available, right?
Okay.
Object1.test.
Compiler say ki why you are writing this without this can be implemented Lambda expression, right?
Right. Right.
Notice the headline. Anonymous implementation can replace with the Lambda.
Right.
Means ki alternative way ki don't write this way. Okay. A best way you can use in the Lambda expression, right?
Right.
So third way you can call like here, not Lambda expression using the method 2 and over here 2 tests. But question is here we can how write a Lambda. So Lambda expression say don't write new, don't write this, don't write this, don't write this, don't write. What is the important? Important input and output one, right? What method input? This is the Lambda expression. Just copy and paste here.
So like same method I can use in here then.
Yeah. Just between the input and the body, you can just add the Lambda expression syntax arrow.
Oh, I understand. Okay. Yeah.
This is the now this is the Lambda expression.
So three way we can do.
Acha.
To implement single abstract method.
Different.
A single abstract method. This is our objective. Just what would be the logic of test method? I want to call test. So someone give the definition, right? Here three way. One way using the class, one way using the anonymous class, one way using the Lambda expression. Finally, we can call this test method, right? So this till now, this is already we cover all the things in last class, right? So now you understand Lambda expression is nothing, just implementation of single abstract method that is defined inside the interface. Okay. And last class, even if your function definition have only one line, so even not needed this curly braces, right? So you can also avoid like just let's 3 three object, and you know this is a single line. Just you remove it, and also you remove this line. Okay, single line means you can also.
Oh, or make it shorter.
Yeah, yeah. So this is your this is your interface implement as this is the code for your test method. And even it works. Okay.
Yeah. That is the purpose to write it down the short line of that program.
You will later classes, lots of places we are going to as shorter as feasible. Okay? Overall, the purpose you have to call the test method. Test method, what give the output? This is to give the output, right? So why unnecessary thing you are writing this? Class,
just like
implement, interface, override, public, void, test. Finally, your objective is this, right?
Right.
So why not you just write your objective, what you want? Rest, let's the compiler figure out.
But like if I would like to write this one, then I have to just call that method first.
Yes, test. This is the just implementation of your this test method, single abstract method.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this is till now we can write my interface. Even there are lots of interface which compiler Java itself given to you. Like one interface is the consumer interface. Consumer interface. This is the given by the compiler itself. If you look this code of the consumer interface, this is the functional interface. Notice they are except one method abstract, only one. And there is no this is the one default method you can write, right? But this is the functional interface. So accept method say I'm not returning anything, just take input and return nothing.
Right.
So this is the one kind of a functional interface that is provided by your JDK itself, right? And similarly, another is a supplier. Okay. Supplier. So this is also one functional interface that is provided by JDK. Functional interface, they have only one method, abstract method, get. Something you want to get, then you can apply this interface supplier.
Right.
Similarly, some method like consumer supplier. One is the predicate. Predicate. This is the also a functional interface provided by your Java itself. They have only test method. Call the particular call input and they return true or false.
Right.
They have only one method, test, right?
Right.
They have a
test method.
Right. Just comment out. Predicate have a have a test method, right? And similarly, your supplier have only get method. Similarly, consumer have only one method, accept.
True.
So these are inbuilt Java library available for you. So whenever sometime you want to write a method that accepts something but not return anything, right? So you can use consumer interface.
Right.
So these are some, you can say, inbuilt functional interface. Similarly, lots of things. Later part will understand what kind of this interface. And if you look, this is the Java inbuilt library provided to you. Whenever you are using Java, by default, this library exists. So lots of like a supplier condition. Similarly, we have multiple, you can say, versions of this, right?
Right.
Predicate have a one is the function. One more generally you can use the one is the function. Functional interface. Okay. This functional interface I have only single method apply. This means So generally, these are the most used in case of our code. This. So generally, whenever sometime you want a kind of a implement single abstract method, all are the single app. Notice here my intention is that sometime you want to write a method that takes input, not return anything, right?
Right.
Sometime you write a method that don't take any input but return value. Sometime you want method that take input but return Boolean object result. Sometime you want take one input and return another output.
Right.
So generally for this you don't like here. What I am doing, I am writing my interface that say don't take input and don't return output, right?
I didn't get it.
This is my method which I written my function interface. Notice they are not return anything, void return. They're not taking input, right? So notice here already one similar kind of interface known as a runnable. Okay, and this is the runnable interface. Notice they have method void. They're not taking any input. They're not return any output, right? So you can say sometime why I am going to write this my interface. My interface have a single abstract method test, but why I am going to write this interface? Instead of this same code, I can run using the Java inbuilt library. Why not using this interface itself? And they have a run method.
Right.
Yes. So there is no need of this functional interface. Why you write own new functional interface? For the purpose that does not return any value, take only nothing, right? So already Java say I have already written one functional interface for you. Just you don't need to write this interface name.
Sure.
You want to just provide your implementation here. Put from my just take use of existing functional interface.
Gotcha.
So Java say whenever you are going to write any kind of functional interface, and that is beyond this. In your method, signature may be take input, no return output, no input, return output, input, return Boolean, input, return some output, no input, no output. So generally, whenever you're writing method, generally our method come in any one of four, right? So for right here, I am written a test method. So this interface, I can reuse the existing runnable.
Right.
Runnable is a simple interface, same, have one single abstract method. So look, this syntax and what written I, both are the same. Right? So unnecessary you are writing some functional interface, but compiler not say you cannot. For learning purpose, surely you can do, right?
Right.
But Java designer suggests, if possible, you can use Java provided existing functional interface.
Right.
Now, do we need to memorize
No.
for each?
No, not memorize. Just after using automatic come in mind. Don't memorize. Just think what I am going to write a method. What is my method? Method takes some input, some return output.
Right.
No take input, no return output. No take input, might be. So finally, these combination can be, right? Take input, no return value. No input, but return value.
Right.
Similarly, take input, might be return some value, right? So this kind of generally options can have, right? Sometime you write a method that takes some input and some return value. Sometime you want a method take input but don't return value. Sometimes you say I want a method that not take any value but return some value. Some possible. Sometime you say no condition I don't pass any value. Even I don't want to return any value. So this possible four combination can be.
Right.
or this is one specific for the Boolean test. Sometimes you write a method that takes some input and returns some condition, true or false, right? So for that, possible ways you can use this predicate interface. And many places, whenever in coming future classes, whenever you are going to use the Lambda expression, even this you don't aware I am using this functional interface, still you are using internal library to use for you.
Right.
Many number of code I am going to just write where we are going to use this lambda, this syntax, but we don't know really what is the functional interface name.
Right.
We more focus on writing this code only. Even we are avoiding all kind of this part, this and this. Generally, in the real application, generally we are not using this part. Only this part are preferable way. Always we are using this.
Only that part.
This is the only code we are using. Rest, our Java compiler already know that this is for which functional interface and what method I have to call. Even they can call your method. And give some example, right? So here our intention, whenever we are going to write a interface, that is the functional interface, means interface have a only single abstract method, and whatever the method you write, just think this syntax already exists in the library or not. If already exists, you can use. If you are writing some method that is not exist apart from this other, then you can write your own functional interface. Compiler not disallow, right? So just handy things compiler given you. Notice here look like sometime might be you are writing one interface, functional interface that have a take a 2 input parameter, right? And return one value. So similarly, Java designer also given at least for 1 input and 2 input already they have written some classes. So all the methods that require 2 kind of input, they have a function like a by. Similarly, all the duplicate kind of things. If you want to 2 input, this is the one functional interface. Notice this is the functional interface. Similarly, have a by functional interface. By function have a take a 2 input and return output. So sometime for at least compiler Java is given a 2 versions of this method, all this that is functional interface. If you want, they have a 2 version. One may be T input and maybe another like here by function, name is the by functional. And they return another variable. So lots of library exist here. By function. What I am doing? This is the class name by function. So just FYI, you have some method exists. This is the one by function. By function indicate that means this function take a 2 input and return 1 output, right? Similarly, we have a by predicate that will take 2 input and return 1 boolean, right? So these are, you can say, by default classes exist, right? By and this by predicate have a method take a 2 input again.
All right.
And best option, these all the documentation available and public. Just search Java functional interface on an internet. Java API show you, right? Yes. So don't you have to memorize this? Just aware that such kind of a functional interface, our you can say compiler, our JVM, our library already available for you. Okay.
Better to put in front of our desk. Always we can see in the
no, never. Rarely you are going to, just should awareness, because we are running something, so such function available we have, right? So this is the part of your library things. And good option, just if you want to check all the things, Google Java functional interface. Java functional interface, because I am using the IntelliJ, so the Java functional interface, go to this Java official library here, and just click here, you find out all the functional interface, right? These are the functional interface: by consumer, by function, and binary, by predicate, consumer, function, right? In supplier, lots of interface available, like a predicate, supplier. Okay. So these are the things already you can say exist. Just we should aware ki this is the kind of by consumer also available, right? By consumer, and by consumer have a function that will take a, except that will take a 2 parameter, except the 2 parameter. So these are the things by default is exist. I am not going to more detail, but say this just should aware ki this is the kind of things library itself offer for you, right? Okay, good. So I'm not going to just explain all kind of library, but just keep in mind Java have a rich set of library exist, okay, for the functional interface. Why? Because they know they have a single abstract method. Whenever someone write, they have follow some kind of pattern, some input, output, one argument, two argument, right? So for at least 1 and 2 argument they have written. Okay, so till now, it is the for the syntax. Let's use this something. How we can use, right? One example, I can use runnable, right? Similarly, all the functional interface you can use. The question is which scenario we are going to use, right?
Right.
So for Lambda expression are heavily used in Java Stream API.
Stream API?
Yes. So I'm discussing what is the stream.
Okay. Yeah.
And how to do. So let us example. I want to write 10 number. First 10 number. So generally till now we have started, we write a method like a for loop, integer I equal to 1, semicolon I less than or equal to 10, semicolon I plus plus, right? And I'm going to write S out I, right?
Right.
This is the one way. Generally, we are till now we have understood. I want to print the first 10 number.
10 numbers, yes.
This is the one way. Okay. This is the legacy way, standard way. Generally, all the we are doing, right?
It's called Stream API.
No. This is the simple till now what we have understood, right? So this is the one way, right?
Right.
Even let's see, I want to print one even number, right?
Right.
So you have to write here check if condition I modulo 2 double equal to 0, right? And then print, right?
Then print. Otherwise,
this is the till now understand that they print all the even number, right?
Right.
So they are printing all the even number between 1 to 10.
10. Yeah.
And let's see, I want to multiplication of each by 2, a double of it, right? So what you can say, whatever value I want to multiply by 2, right? So double. You can say int double it, okay? Here say whatever the I multiply by 2 double, and you are going to print double it.
Right.
So these are the things which already we know how to run. Okay, there is no any kind of problems. There is no any kind of issue, right?
Right.
So still we are getting first all the even number between 1 to 10 and return the double of it, right?
Right.
So this is one way to write the code. Okay? So Java say you can write this code using the Java Stream API using the Lambda expression. Java Stream API use Lambda expression. Okay.
Right. Okay.
And so here how to use. So just I'm writing one code and then it's a, so 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 Java already provides some set of library. You know, this is the integer number. Okay, integer number. So here I say int stream. This is the one standard API I say, and I want to 1 to 10. Just say range. Range I want to 1 to 10. Okay. And dot I want to just print it. Just do for each and what number you want to print. System dot out dot println. So this is the using Steam API. We are print first 10 number.
Right.
I'm just thinking before Lambda Expression, a Stream API, I am going to teach one more topic about the collection. Okay. Then we'll again come back here because lots of things here we are talking about the collections. Like collections, we have studied till now the array, right?
Right.
We have one collections. We have already studied about the array, and that was the primitive concept. Now Java say for the similar work for array, we have inbuilt Java classes as well as whatever you are doing with the manually array data structure. For Java itself offer the list of API, list of Java function, right? So here I'm just trying to say here notice I'm not using the any kind of Lambda expression, but still here for each you notice the for each method that will take the consumer interface. This is the one functional interface that have a accept method. So notice here I am not using here. Let's in this way write good code. I am writing take one element and here say s out. System dot out dot println element. So here notice I am using this lambda expression, right? But here I am only interested this lambda part. Notice this part only. I'm same I'm writing here input 1 and print the output. So internally Java library know okay this is the lambda expression. I am going to call your method. So this is the by default notice this is the int consumer. This is the lambda expression. So internally they are going to call your accept function. So here I am using the lambda expression. Even you don't know what is the functional interface we are using. So generally in the later part, whenever you're going to more in understand, majorly our developer we are focusing to only writing the lambda expression. Even we don't aware which functional interface they are going to assign and which method they call. You notice here I am just using this functional interface, but I'm not aware which functional interface they are and what method they call.
Right.
Okay, and even here say I want to notice I want to even only. So here say just filter whatever the number, just number modulo to double equal to 0. Okay, so here I am say just filter out those number which are only even number. So they are printing only even number. Notice here they are only even number. Okay. And similarly, if you want double it, so just say map and whatever the number I receive, number multiplied by 2. Double it. Okay. So now you are getting the output like doubling. Now you are getting the output as a double. So this is our old style way writing the code. Same I am writing this way. Here I am saying I have an integer numbers range 1 to 10. Just filter those numbers that are even number and double it, and call the print all them.
So, Ajay bhai, so how do I know which line I have to write first logically? Like
here think first you want to write all the 1 to 10, 1 to 10, right? Here I say I want to check it is even or not. Here check it's even or not.
Yeah.
Again you say double it, you also double it. Then print.
Okay, so
what the things you are writing here? Same I am writing here.
Filter means the for loop.
Now I am going to detail here. Explain. You notice here I am writing lambda expression. This is the lambda expression. Take one input and return. This is the what here. Note. Let's keep. I am going to. This is the predicate.
1 second, Ajay. There is a lambda expression is inside the bracket. That is n, and then just like for to n modular by 2 or something like that. That's the lambda expression.
Yes. Notice lambda expression what? Input arrow and output, right?
Right.
Same writing I'm here. Either this is the input n, arrow, this is the lambda arrow, and this is the body.
Okay.
Acha.
So I'm trying to say here, this is the implementation of your filter. Filter note, filter what take? Predicate. Which predicate? Into predicate. Predicate have a one test method. This is the one method take input and return boolean, right? So this is the things you are taking one input and checking and returning true and false. This method return true and false.
Right. This filter is the boolean value, true or false.
Right.
Acha.
No, filter nahi. I am saying that this is the predicate.
Acha.
Predicate interface.
Acha, predicate interface. Acha.
Okay. So I am here trying to say, don't go deep. I'll explain one by one, different classes. Here the difference way. This is the one way to write the Java code. This is the one way to write Java code using the Java stream and lambda function. Look like here something, here also something more readable, you can say. Here we are a number range from 1 to 10. I am going to filter out those number, even number, right? And I am going to say double it and just printing. Look like just statement, problem statement.
Like there's a Python, like a Python code is
like.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Acha.
So, right?
Right.
So don't go more, and I'm going to detail one by one. Just I'm giving the flavor how lambda expression going to use. Okay.
Okay. So you are not going into details now. You are just showing the example.
I'm doing some showing here. This is the lambda expression. What are the use? Where I'm going to use? So till now, whatever the problem we have solved using this way, right? Using for loop, or using array, using loop, whatever the things, all the things we can solve using the Java stream API using the lambda expression. Like here, we did the same problem here. I am writing in this line, one line. This is the one line of code. If you write, this is the one line of code. Notice? Complete this code I am written in one line.
Achha.
So in later classes we'll understand detail how it's become more concise and even how it's work, right? So here intention, here in these three method, filter method, map method, and for each, these three methods are expecting one functional interface. Like notice yesterday I retain one method like here call. Notice static void call, and call you pass your let's key my functional interface obj. Okay.
Right.
And here I can call obj.test, right? So someone going to call this function. I'm going to call this method. I'm going to call this method. So how I'm able to call? I'm able to call if pass this object, right?
Right.
This is your interface. This is the interface. So I cannot say my interface new, right? Here functional interface So I can pass the lambda expression here. So I can say, even I can pass here any I can pass object 1, object 2, object 3, anything, right? But here I can say, even I pass like here, I am going to this my functional interface. This is my functional interface. I am create the obj equal to lambda expression, because this is the functional interface. So I can implement this method in lambda expression. Lambda expression and just S out, right?
Right.
Test.
True.
Okay.
True.
And I can pass here obj. Okay? This works. obj. Already obj object create. Okay. obj. Okay.
Okay.
And this is one way. And I'm saying this, why need to declare one variable? This code directly pass in the call method. Even you don't use this variable, you just say this is my code, I want to call itself here, just pass here. And here say test 1, test 1, 2, right? So this is the way you can pass code in the lambda complete function body in the call method.
Right.
So if you run, you notice still we are able to test this code.
True.
So here, calling any method, notice I am able to call, right? So here our objective is that here whatever the function, take any functional interface as input. Like here, call function are expecting pass with the functional interface. So this call method is not required to create variable and then call, right? Just say this is my code, just I pass complete code to you. This is your responsibility, you run it. So here we are not creating any object here, just passing the lambda expression. Notice here I pass this and pass the lambda expression. So lambda expression generally directly pass in a method. Lambda expression is a code. This snippet, code snippet. This code snippet you can pass in a method. Like a filter is a method. You can pass code snippet. This is a map is a method. Notice this is a map. Map take a operator in functional interface. This is a functional interface. Notice, and they take one input and return one output. Right? Yes.
I didn't.
So here,
okay.
Here I am trying to say this is the map function. Either take functional interface input.
Can you go one more time in that description?
This is the functional interface. Okay. And sorry. And what this take? This is functional interface expecting. It pass one input and return one output, right?
Integer operand.
So here similarly, here I'm trying to say this is the one input, and we are passing. They return the multiply by 2, double out.
It's until we are going to practice this one, it's very hard to.
Yeah. So yeah, it will, because in this couple of more classes I am going to here to detail one by one. It's just I am giving the brief summary how this lambda expression are going to use in our application. This is not a simple way to just look like this is a very simple way to just implement one single abstract method, but they are highly used when we are dealing with business requirement, a problem.
Sure.
Like here, our problem is that I am going to get first 10 even number with a double output, right? So this requirement we can solve using our manual for loop. This also solve using the lambda expression and stream API.
Is it called any because lambda is look like another thing? I forgot the terminology. That is based on that, because for the testing, one of the tool I know that it's not coming in my mind. Is there any other name also lambda?
This lots of might be name, but here in the Java programming language, lambda expression is a single method implementation, single abstract method implementation, and there are lots of use. Okay. So here our objective is that we have to understand how this code written, what is the meaning of that, how we can solve all the problem till now which we have did using the for loop, using the array, all the things we can solve using the Java stream API. API means by default this filter, map, for each, these functions are provided by the Java library. I am not providing, right? I am not writing any code for that, right?
Right.
We are just using them. So whenever we say Java Stream API, Java Stream API means they have provided some set of library, set of methods. We are going to use those methods to solve our problem. Here we are not using any library to solve my problem, right?
No, yeah.
Here I am using only library to solve my problem.
Gotcha.
Right? And we are also discuss lots of pros and cons about this and this. Lots of advantage have and lots of disadvantage both have, right? Both.
Right.
Lots have a problem here, lots have a problem here. Lots of advantage here, lots of advantage here.
Right.
The later classes sequentially we are going to discuss details here. But today understand Lambda expression is highly used nowadays in our application.
Acha.
So here just I'm given one example how Lambda expressions are used.
So would you prefer us to write it down the Lambda expression away, or just initially just like we have to go get fluent with that regular expression, and then after that, like right beside of that, you want us to write it down the Lambda expression as well?
I'm going to just start it to till now we understand what is the Lambda expression, how to write the code.
I gotcha. Yeah, but like
we are doing lots of practice here.
Yeah,
understanding here. Lots of things we discussed like functional, consumer, supplier, runnable. These things we are going to take each one is specific class and we'll discuss how it's works, right? Each functional interface, at least I take one classes to explain how you can implement and how in the program we can use, right?
Right.
Just here example what till now we have understand to writing the code using the manual for loop, if condition, while loop, and arrays. All the things, all the problem you can almost address using the stream API. Using the use of the Lambda expression. So here I'm trying to say that this is the can look like a one code. Okay. Lambda expression is just code. This code can be passed in the method, can be written from method. This is the only advantage. Here you can pass maybe complete create variable, and whenever calling method, generally till now we have understand whenever call any method we pass any value, maybe integer value or many object, right?
Right.
But Lambda expression get exposed, even you can pass complete code. Why need your variable? Just whatever code, just pass to your call method. So here, just same thing I am to demonstrate here. Here in the Lambda, any methods which are expecting some functional interface as an input, you can pass complete code. This code is a Lambda expression. Lambda expression just the input and what is their output.
Right.
But I have a question.
Yes.
So in the when you pass the full code. In the call function,
right?
You have first bracket, like you put bracket, right? But at the top you just put n.
Where is the here?
Like you go up
here.
Yeah, here there is no bracket. It's always n.
Here I'm not, okay, because this function, let's take one input x, right? One input n, let's assume. If this take input, then you have to pass here an input. Okay, and let me just overwrite this integer n. Okay. Means this the functional interface which are expecting, just fix all the place, just give me. So here we have to this Here I have to n, right? Here I have to n. Okay, here I have to n. Okay. It would be good just I write one new interface instead of modify all the things, right?
Right.
Okay. Till now, anything disturb? Okay, here. Okay, till now, why you are passing here, and I'm just explaining. This is the interface we are expecting. One take note. Go to in this method. This is the functional interface, right? These are taking one input and returning one output, right?
Right.
So due to that, we are passing this variable. Let me write my own simple example. Okay. So here I write one more functional interface. Functional interface. Let's what calculate. Okay. Test interface. Test interface. And let's test interface. I have write one method that take return input. Okay. And just process call. Process. Method name process. That take input, right? One. Okay. So whenever such interface that take input and return output, so how to I am going to here call method, here say call another. Okay. And here I pass, this is my test interface, right?
Right.
So test interface, that means we have to call here process method. And they take input sum. What the input you read? Okay. Let's input your whatever the x you pass here.
Right.
Okay. Let's see how I am going to call another function here. I am going to call another function. So what this another function say I am at one object needed. That is the functional interface, right?
Right.
So here, how to I call this method? Might be we have to create this some object like some test object, and maybe I know this is the test is the kind of a Lambda expression functional interface. So I can implement the Lambda expression. So what Lambda expression say? Lambda expression say what is the input? This is the input, one input. Okay, you want to take one input, right? And what is the output you want? So one integer variable. Let's I am say n multiply by 100. I am return. This is the Lambda expression. You can pass this. You can pass this. And question: whenever something going to call this, what input you want? I want to pass like 5. Yes, 7. The 7 multiply by 100 they return. This method is return some output, right? This return some output. So let's write in the S out, right? And call in the output, right? They return value right now.
Right.
So if you run, you are able to pass the 7. 7 is the multiply by 100. 700 you are getting output. Right?
Right.
So this is the one way. I'm not going to create the new variable. I'm just comment out, right?
Right.
Sorry. I am not going to create this. I want to call this method using the Lambda expression direct, right? So here this code completely, I'm just forget one thing. So whenever they have only one argument parameter, you can just even remove this. This is take only one argument you can pass here. This is your input and this is your output.
Right.
This is the whatever input, whatever output return you.
Right.
So here we will pass. So this code we can directly pass here. Oh, sorry. Say whatever the element I have, a number we have, whatever the element we have, what element just multiply by 10. They return and which number I want to add. I want here I am written for 8. I am going to test. So this you can call here E multiply by 10. What's the meaning? This is the implementation of this process method.
But like, what would be the result for this one? Like for E?
So I am calling here. I
Yeah.
am calling another method, and this call the process method. Process
Achha.
method, what they take input and return some output. So what the output return? You have written key. I am passing the input. You just return multiply by 10. And
That's
here
mean,
is
okay.
80.
Achha. Oh, that's mean I'm going to pass 8. 8 into 10 is already. Am I right? X
Yes.
value is 8. That's mean I'm passing 8.
Yeah, here. Notice that whenever I'm call process method, we pass any specific value.
Right.
So this specific value, what I'm just given the input here.
Achha. That's my question. Yeah, exactly. I got you. I got it.
Because you say whenever someone call process method, pass one input. So here we have an object, now object. I want to call process method, but process method take input. So I input expect from this method, hey, someone give me the input. So here I am passing the input.
You're right.
So similarly, notice here, where is my code? Yes, this is the filter, map, and for each. Notice here I am passing one input and they returning the multiply by 2, right?
Achha, achha, achha,
So look
achha.
like here.
But it is
So
like
this,
more shorter.
yes. So even don't read like this due to that. A final objective is to just provide the implementation. So here I am just passing the code.
Oh
This
my.
are expecting you give me the object, but I'm saying I'm not passing the object. I'm just giving the complete code. You just assume this is the object and call the code. So here we are passing complete code. This code is a lambda expression. Lambda expression have a two part. One part your input, right? Another part your output. So here, this is the lambda expression. He said this is my input and this is my output.
Output, yeah. But I have to again, Ajay, line number 68. That is my input is N, and then arrow.
Here just you say this is my interface. Interface is the object, and this is the functional interface because this have only one abstract method like process, right? So here, what is the logic of process method? What is the method? What is the definition of process method? Here I am saying process method definition, whatever the number you pass, I return multiply by 100.
Then that's mean I have to write another line where I'm going to enter my another value.
So the first part of N, if I can think of as a function argument, what I pass.
Yes, yes. I can implement this as a another way. This one equal to new this way. So here I am passing here n and here returning n multiply by 100. So this code and this code are this whole code and this whole code are the same.
Same.
Oh,
so notice now here I can pass, if let's pass here 1. Okay, here I pass this object. This object means this complete code.
Right.
Okay. So what the process method take this one input and multiply by 100. You can write this way as well as or this way. Both are the same thing.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you run this both print the same output. So this is different way of writing. Both are printing the same 700, right?
100%.
Because both have a logic. You have just given the here in this test have a one single abstract method process. So this is the process, the logic. You have written the process method here. They take one input n and return n multiply by 100, right?
True.
So this code you can return here. This is the n input we are receiving, and what is the output returning? This.
Yes, multiply by 100.
Got it. Got it.
So here say ki this code. Even this is the how this code become here. Let's 1 and here I am writing the 2. 2. Here say whatever the unnecessary things, just you remove all the things. This is the unnecessary things, right?
Yes.
Remove it, not needed.
Okay.
And just place the arrow between, right? So this is the one improvement from here to improve this part, right? Unnecessary thing I remove it, right?
Exactly.
Even we can say unnecessary thing like this is the one-liner code, not read this value. So I'm just remove this. I am removing this.
Achha.
Right? And just place one-liner. Okay.
Okay. Written. Okay.
Okay. This is the one-liner. This is the one improvement. Even you say this is the one-liner, why need a return? Even you can remove the return.
Achha.
Okay. Now this is also concise. Even so, this test class already know this is the process method. This is the integer type. Okay. So why you are writing the here? Why you are writing here like a type?
Type. Achha.
Where is my code? Here. Why you are writing here type? Even you can remove this type. Don't need it.
Achha.
So even if you remove this type.
Achha.
Okay. Even compiler, okay, this is only one argument. Why even needed this parenthesis?
Achha.
Just remove this parenthesis. So now you come code this. So this is the complete anonymous kind of things, removing all the extra things. I don't need a new, I don't need the this. This is the only important part. This is a one-liner of code implementation. Just remove the curly braces. After that, no return, because only one line I return, compiler automatic. The compiler return it. Even no integer required, even no curly braces required, it's concise. So this line of code and complete this line of code is the same things.
Got it.
I even compiler say, why you are writing this here? I am writing this. This is writing. I am passing here. Why you are passing? Why not directly pass this to here itself? Why need this line again? Unnecessary. Even nothing required. Just pass this code inside your call itself.
Right.
So this is the Lambda expression.
That's great.
So just conciseness.
That's
so overall, yes. Overall, here, whatever the things in this API we are doing here, that is a very concise form written here.
What do you call this one? Called API? You say?
This is the API means method.
Yeah, API. Yeah,
API means method.
Not that API, that application programming interface. Not that thing.
API means same here. API means application programming interface. Here, this is the interface of a filter. That are expecting some input, they return output.
API short for application programming interface.
Yes, correct. More short API is the method function. Okay.
Now, so do I need to memorize this 4 line when I run a loop
for the range?
No, as of now, don't memorize anything. I'll explain. In this, while writing this code, you are memorizing anything?
No.
What is my requirement? I know 1 to 10 number. I want to loop, right?
Yeah.
Similarly, whenever we are doing practice, I want to 10 number. I have a range.
Right.
Okay.
Similarly, here I want to check even number. So I write if something right here.
Right.
Do not memorize. You say here I want to check the even number.
Right.
Similarly, that means in the all 1 to 10 number, I don't want to print all 10 number, right? I want to print only even. That means non-even, just remove them. Just don't do anything, right?
Right.
Just filtering data. All the even number you can only putting, right?
Right.
So just filter it from range 1 to 10. Filter only those number which are the even number. So here if clause you are filtering. So here say filter. After say no, I want to double the output. Here say okay, I double it. Means map transform one input to another output. And after that I want to print. So for each just print. So this is just become a practice. This code converted to this code.
So range is basically the for loop.
Right. Just while the using multiple times, you aware this is alternative to that. Just like we before learning Java program, we don't know what is the for loop, right?
Right.
We have to do lots of practice and now aware whenever I want to print 10 number, I have to go to for loop, right?
Right.
But
Natural.
range,
Now we are naturally we know
first. Similarly, whenever practice more about the range, we say okay, whenever place a loop, I am going to range 1 to 100, 1 to 1000, right?
but I do have one question, Ajay.
Yes.
That is like there's a for loop. You said that's a range, but for the other loop as well, that is also just we mentioned the range as well. So does it mean just any other loop or just like we are running that is considered as a range or something like that? While while we can run that range as well.
Overall meaning of the loop, what the meaning? Overall, why we use the loop? Let's go to the basic. This line I want to print 10 times, right?
Right.
Objective was that means ki this line, print line, I am going to print 10 times. So instead of writing out system output, system output, system output, system output, system 10 times, I am saying why not compiler? Just hey compiler, just print this line 10 times for me.
Right.
I am saying this is the condition. Go 10 times, print this. The objective is to repeat something.
Right.
Here also, whenever you want to repeat something, that you need a range. A condition can be any. Here you want to make condition 10 conditionally. Here you can just make a range 1 to 10 means by default they are going to increment 1 by 1. Here you want to maybe 2 increment or 3 increment. Have a different function here, right?
Right.
Lots of different function. Okay. So as per our use cases, Stream API also offer the alternative way. The till now I am just seeing the different sugar between this hygienes of writing code. Lots of pros and cons I'm not discussing here, but have why we are our Java designers moving from this code to this. And one thing,
shorter and then more productive and more faster.
Lots of things, but both understand. This is not the key. This is the bad thing, or this is a good thing. No. You cannot say this is a good thing, this is a bad thing.
No.
These are different tools. This is the one tool to write a code. This is another tool to write the code.
But
the different depend upon our application and use case. Somewhere you are going to use this, somewhere you are going to use this.
But when developer work, do they actually still write for loop like that?
Yes, I'm writing. Yes, I am writing. Why not?
But Ajay, is there any like I would like to say that for the performance or load issues for the Lambda function is better than that one, like the way we have written just for the old formula? Is it helpful for the performance related thing or just like a load?
You can say maybe yes or maybe no, both. Depend upon the depend upon the use case. Scenario, I want to this code run in a multi-threaded environment. Okay.
Multi-threaded, acha.
Now not the 100 million data I want to print the even odd number. Okay. Same here program I want to implement the multi-threading here. So implementing multi-threading is very hard here. Here implementing multi-threading is just very simple. Just one line more. Start parallel stream. So somewhere these codes are more readable and multi-threaded environment applicable. This is code also work multi-threaded, but you have to write lots of other code here to enable multi-threading. This Stream API by default support our multi-threaded concept.
Okay, it's directly multi-threaded concept, but that one is if you would like to write it down.
So till now I'm not going to discuss it because till now I'm not study how to write the threading in a Java, multi-threading in a Java. So I'm not discussing those points. Lots of other points we have to consider, but here this is the by default nature. Nowadays, our application nowadays deploying the different cloud environment, 1 environment, 2 environment, 3 environment, right? And nowadays our have a lots of processor in the system, right? 2 processor, 3 processor. So using the capacity of our hardware, generally I want my application can run in the 2 processor or 4 processors simultaneously, right?
Right.
Might be one processor have a capability to run multiple threads nowadays. So if our application is designed, they can run in a multi-threaded environment. That means we can highly utilize our hardware. So for learning purpose, it's very good, it's efficient. But whenever we are going to use our hardware resources for the easily process the data, if the volume is high, then single-threaded applications are bottleneck. They have a slow in the case of performance, but in the case of your multi-threaded environment, huge number of data is added benefit, because now we are going to utilize the our hardware resources as maximum.
What are the example like a multi-threaded environment, like a software?
Multi-threaded, let's example, we have a example with a human being. I have a one work, okay, and this work have a just build this 1, 2, 3, 1 block, 2 block, 3 block, 4 block. This is the one block. I have assigned one person, okay, a person complete this 4 block. This person going complete first this, then this, then this, then this, and they yes done, right?
Right.
This is the one person means single threaded work. The same work I am going to assign though 4 person, 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, and 4 person. I say you do this work, you do this, you do this, you do this. So this is the multi-threaded environment.
Okay.
So this is my task. This is my task. This task is done by here 4 unit times. Okay. Here my task is done in 1 unit times.
Okay.
Because each are doing one jobs and each done in the taking 1 unit. So parallelly 4 threads are running and building his jobs. And final our objective is completed within a 1 unit times instead of 4 unit times.
Oh, it's 4 times faster. It's way efficient.
Right. So this is the concept of multi-threading. This is the come from our real life example. Whenever in our factory company, some work can be allocated in the multiple people, right? If multiple people means multiple thread. 1 people, 1 thread. Simple say.
That's been more user, more thread.
Right.
Got it.
Okay, so lots of things we'll not covering here, but our today objective to understand what is Lambda expression. Lambda expression is nothing, just implementation of one single abstract method, like here, right? Like here.
Okay, yeah.
But how to implement those? Basic way, implement class and write the definition, right? Second way, using the anonymous class. Anonymous class just complete class, but they are not using the name. Don't use the name. Here using the name. Here say I am using the interface name itself, right? And I am writing the complete class itself here where new object created.
Right.
And Lambda expression say unnecessary thing, our important thing only this. Why unnecessary thing you are doing? Just remove all the things. This is the Lambda expression.
Right.
So this is your input and this is your output, demarcation between this Lambda expression. Unnecessary thing avoid this open close, just one liner.
So nowadays this one is heavily used. Lambda is heavily used in programming.
Heavily used in the case of data processing, stream processing, yes.
Okay.
But you cannot say ki only one if your API is expecting functional interface. Some API, like this is the API means this is a method, like filter method, map method are expecting functional interface. At that place, you can pass here the Lambda expression. But might be some API that's not expecting functional interface. So at that place, you cannot use Lambda expression. Okay. So specific use. And the last study, here you cannot use the bar keyword. Right?
Var keyword we cannot use.
Why? Because var keyword not say ki which method implementation of this. Var is the not enough. Here, why say? Because here say ki this is the interface. They have one single abstract method. I am going to the definition of this method, right? Here. here. So what the single abstract method definition from where this compiler found from the left hand side. So due to that, please aware, whenever you are writing Lambda expression, you cannot use the bar keyword in the assigning implementation. Right?
Right.
So lots of things continue we are discussing here, and some more example. So let us again here, like today did one simple example, like do all the even number and double something. Similarly, multiple codes we are going to write, understand using the Lambda expression.
True.
Okay.
True.
So till now, this is the summary about Lambda expressions, and just go through. Don't try to understand each and everything. Just aware this is the one way to pass particular method logic in a code. Just a code. Lambda expression is just a code. Lambda expression, nothing, just is a code.
Okay.
You can pass this code in a particular method. Maybe, okay, this code can return, this code can pass. Before Lambda expression, we have not any option to pass complete code inside a method call.
Right.
Before we have only option, you can pass the object. But now, due to the Lambda expression, we can pass completely the code as well as.
Right. That's good. Thank you, Ajay.
Okay, and we'll continue working on this concept. Okay, till now, just go through and read out and note down any doubt, question, confusion. And the coming classes, we are going to understand more collections of data, because this stream API generally work on the collections of data, right? Stream API generally need a collections of data. Till now, whatever we have learns a class creating one object, but I have created a 10 object, 100 object. Where you manage? The one basic data structure we have studied about the array. In array, we have to store 10 object, right? A 20 object, a 30 object. So array is the good we have learned, but alternative data structures we have in this Java. This is known as a Java collections API, a collection frameworks. So coming questions will learn how you can use the collections of object. Till now, we have understand how to create the class and how to create the object, right?
Right.
But what happen? I can create the 10 object. Where I'm going to hold it? 10 object.
Okay.
I have created the employee class. I have created 100 employee. Where this 100 employee I'm going to 100 variable I'm going to create? No, we have to use the array data structure. Or similarly, other Java provided methods and API. Okay.
Sure.
Is it good?
Good.
Yeah.
The coming session, we are going to work on the Java collection API or frameworks.
Java collection API framework.
Or you can say anything you can say. Let's Java collection API, or you can say framework.
Okay.
Okay, anything. So these things, till now we have know how to create the class, how to create the object, how to call the method, right? What happen if we have created the employee class and 10 employee class created? Where I'm going to store 10, right? So for that we are going to understand the Java collections. Basically, on the Java collection, if we have collection of employee 10 employee, I want to find all the employee which the maximum age, minimum age, average salary, all the calculations of group of object. So this stream API help. The stream API generally we use for the collections of object.
Right.
So before going to deep dive the stream API, we have to first understand the basic how we collect object. So we already know one data structure like a array. Array is the one way we can use. We can use array to store. We can use array to store collection of objects. Okay. But for that, instead of array, Java provide inbuilt some classes, some methods, which we are going to explore. What is the simple way in the coming classes? Okay.
Sure.
Okay. That's any question for the day, or it's okay?
That's good enough. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. So
thank you, Ajay.
Take care.
Tomorrow.
Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.